it is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and I'm super excited because I actually got to play along with JQ's Crafty IQ, and I love this challenge. And she has a challenge group, which is super awesome. And basically, days 1 through 7 of the month, you get layers. And this month, I didn't follow along very well. So in the past, I have definitely done, day 1, and then I come back for day 2, and then I come back, and on and on and on. And the big thing is, don't glue anything down because you have no idea what the next day is bringing and if it's going to mess up what you have done. So if you're going to play along like that, just don't glue anything down. Well, I really didn't know what I was doing. So, I am going to pop up in the corner. So you'll have the list of everything that we are supposed to be using. Now, number 1 is an image inspiration. And I kind of pulled the colors. I'm kind of doing the outline. Like, I'm just coming back to that. Like, I looked at the inspiration piece and said, I'm not inspired yet. It's going to come to me. I'm totally going to skip. So day 2 was torn paper. I'm like, okay, that's easy. Skipped that one. Day 3 is a long title. I'm like, I don't even know what picture I'm using. Skip. So day 4 was folding. So I'm like, okay, that's where I'm going to start. I am going to start with folding. So I'm using my How to Kill a Kit with Style. And it's basically a jumble of my Maggie Holmes collection. Okay. So this collection that I'm working with is mostly Sunny Days, which is pretty much killed. I have a few papers left, a few embellishments, that type of thing. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take this beautiful black and white with this striped paper, and I am going to fold it down. And I am going to use this amazing camera paper as my background. It's got all the colors. It's good. I'm like, okay, perfect. So I folded it over. I glued it down. I stapled it to hold the fold down because I didn't want it like smushed. It will totally get smushed in the album, but right now I didn't want it smushed. So I was like, okay, so I got number 4 done. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back to number 2 and I'm going to do the torn paper. So even though I stapled it all down, I have to take the staples out. I tear the paper along the bottom and then I restaple it. So I'm like, okay, well, got day 2 and day 4 done. So then I'm like, okay, I kind of have to decide which photo I'm going with. So I decide I'm going to use this photo. And so this photo is my husband, my kids, and they were riding the truck back. So my friend's ranch has a swimming hole on it, which how cool is that? So we had been down at the swimming hole, so you see all of our little floaties up top. And I was her dad had driven down, and so they decided to catch a ride on the truck back to the house, where I was like, nope. Tiffany and I walked. So we walked back and we took their picture hanging out on the truck. So I'm like, okay, where does this picture go? I kind of thought it would be good coming out of the top, but ultimately I'm going to decide on the bottom. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to put all this embellishing up coming out of that fold, right? So I have a bunch of the ephemera pieces. And then I'm like, okay, let's stick a bunch of words on here. The image inspiration had tons of journaling, and I knew I wasn't going to do tons of journaling. but I thought that I could get lots of words on this layout. So that's the first part of the image inspiration that I'm doing, is putting all these words on. And I have all of these clear stickers. So I thought it would be good. I put, one says every summer has a story. One says bright. One says happy little moments. Another one says a moment to explore. And I'm like, okay, I'm liking this. Let's back my photo. So I'm looking at what I have left in the sheet, and as you can see, I'm kind of just down to like 2 pieces of the 6x12 paper. Actually, like 2.5, because I have the cameras, and then I have, oh no, I just have the cameras and the butterflies. So I'm going to pull in this floral, and I said, no, I'm going to back my paper. I'm going to back my photo with the floral. So I pop my photo on there. I'm going to trim it down, and I have like a gold leaf up there from Flourish, because one day 6 was leaves. So I was like, oh, if I just stick a leaf up here, I realize that I need to kind of do some leaves to get that one in. So I am going to, oh, it's so funny to watch this video, because this layout was so troublesome for me. Like, there is so much of this layout that I glue down and rip back up. It's a little crazy. So I like these tags from the ephemera piece. I also like this piece that says, it's like a list, swimsuit books, like the list that you would take, right? And so I'm going to layer those up on the left and cover up my cute little piece that says a moment to explore. So that's kind of hidden now. And I have 2 acetate pieces. One is like a floral medallion kind of, and then the other one's this little golf cart, and I'm like, that golf cart is perfect. So I get the golf cart on. I'm like, okay, I'm going to add more words. So I add a clear sticker on top of it. It says enjoy the ride. I'm like, this is perfect. I really want to get one of these bows on. I have bought, oh, this is probably my 3rd pack. So I think I maybe killed one of them, 2 of them, because I think I only have 1 pack left. So I have 3 left. And then I have these little like make your own epoxy flare stickers from Hobby Lobby. So I'm like, okay, there's number 5. I made this one. It says live for today. I decided to glue everything down, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to start sticking everything down, right? I'm like, okay, I'm committed. I think I like what's going on, or I like it enough to to feel like it's safe to stick down. And the sadness is coming. But I wanted to leave it in because this is real life. And, you know, I would say the majority of the time my layouts come together pretty quickly, and I like what I've done. And if I don't, then I usually can find a way to make it work. And I find a way to make it work, but definitely not the way that I was thinking. So I'm digging through all the things, and I'm like, okay, what else do I need? So I'm going to add some more florals with leaves, because I don't like the big gold one. So I'm like, you know what? That's totally going to go. So I'm going to pop a couple of those on. They're just some clear stickers, so you just see a little bit. I'm like, okay, that's number 6. I handled the leaves. So basically I have everything. I have my image inspiration with all the words. I've got the torn paper. Oh, I don't have the long title, which I'm thinking at this point, yeah, one of those really long word phrases is going to be my long title. I'm like, yeah, that's good enough. Then folding, I got that. I got my little piece of homemade flare. I got the leaves. And so now I'm on to doodling. I'm like, okay, doodling is the last thing. So also in the image inspiration, there was kind of like a shadow around the numbers. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to shadow around these doodling, and that's going to do it. And so I draw on here and I was like, wow, that looks like not good stuff. Because y'all know what I want to say, right? Like, it is the ice cream emoji 100%. I was like, I don't like this. So I totally rip off that back piece of paper. And I'm like, I just throw it up there. I'm like, okay, fine. So I dug into my paper pads, and this piece I pull from Open Book. And I was like, okay, this is a little more neutral. It's not so busy. All the weird doodling things are gone. I'm like, it's good. And then I was like, okay, well, since it's not busy up here, maybe I want to stick my photo back up there, which that doesn't look bad, right? Excuse me. I had a strawberry seed stuck in my throat. So I tore it up, and then I tore all the pieces up, and I'm like, okay, so now I got all these like torn pieces of paper. Okay, I'm putting my photo back down, but I'm flipping everything over to the other side. So everything that was on the left-hand side of the photo is now on the right-hand side of the photo, and done, right? Like, okay, it fits there better. I'm like, okay, I like this better. I do have that little umbrella that's kind of floating around off in space over there, and I will move that around and fix that. But it covers up everything that I tore up. I am liking it. I'm like, oh wait, I still am missing things. I'm like totally counting. I'm like, okay, I got my image inspiration with the words. I got my torn paper. I don't have my long title. I could fudge that, but I'm going to fix it. I got my folding. I got my flare. There are some leaves still left on here. I'm like, okay, got my leaves. So now I need a long title and a doodling. So I pull out the project pad, which I've done pretty good with this sticker sheet. I feel pretty good about it. And so I am going to make my title from the sticker sheet, as well as a little acetate piece from the ephemera pack that says Sunshine. So that little label sticker, even though you can't tell what it says Take Me Somewhere. And then, so this project pad comes with an alpha. So my title is going to be Take Me Somewhere in the Sunshine. Perfect. Long title. Got to use up a few things from this project pad, which I'm feeling pretty good about. This project pad is pretty close. It's really hard to kill some alphas. I think that I'm not really sure I've ever killed any alpha collection ever. Maybe someday I will, but I haven't. So I go ahead and put the list at the end, and I'm going to just layer up some more words. So one says summer mode, one says sun-kissed, and one says fun in the sun. So I'm going to stick those on there, and I am liking how that is looking. So the last thing that I have to do is some doodling. So to do my doodling, I am just going to take a Muji pen and just do a squiggly border on only the top. So I think I have done it. I will find the master list of everybody who is playing along this month, minus me because I'm late. But that way you can check out everybody else. Check out the Facebook group. And I am super interested to see what you guys do with this one. Super fun, struggled, but absolutely love it. Here I am just checking to make sure that I have got all 7 items. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. I love to chat with you guys. I love to read your comments, and I always heart them to let you know that I have read it, and I do try to respond, especially if you ask me a question and you haven't ever have any questions. Please feel free to leave them down below, because I love to chat with you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Again, I apologize that I am late for this one. I was really hopeful to get some good pictures in the sun, but nope, these are shed pictures, so I hope they are okay for you. And here is that layout again. Oh, so glad that it turned out. So remember to wear your crown, and we'll see you next month. Bye.